I finally got around to doing something I've always wanted to do in a survival game. I built a maze. And this maze is not just a small little maze. I tried to make it as massive and confusing as possible. We're in Sons of the Forest to check it out, and let me just say that this was a blast to build during some of our live streams. This is Kevin for Base Legend, where we show people how to build some of the best and coolest looking bases in games. Definitely not a base on this one, but really fun for me to put together here. So let's go ahead. I wanted to show you the outside first, but obviously it's a maze, so the inside is what matters. This is Sons of the Forest, but I wanted to do this at night because, to be honest with you, the maze is so much better in this game at night just because of what you have available to you. So you got 3 entrances to start. I tried to make it as monotonous as possible, so it's 100% logs. There's absolutely nothing else in here except for a handful of traps at some of the dead ends to just kind of keep things a little interesting. There's 2 levels, an upstairs and a downstairs. There's a bunch of really long dead ends and a bunch of just really fun ones too. Really, I'm only going to show off about 50% of the maze in this video. I'm thinking if I can figure out how to do it properly, I'm going to release this as a level pack, see how many people can get through the maze timed, you know, that type of thing. But either way, as I said, some of the places are clean, some of them have traps in them, little things to just kind of keep it a little interesting. It's creative mode, so you're not going to take any damage or anything like that. I was thinking about originally putting some of the enemies of the game inside of the maze too, like you turn a corner and instead of it being an explosive trap like that, it would have been a fingers or something like that. But they removed those from the console command, so I couldn't spawn in any characters or really anything aside from just some traps. I did remove the HUD so that way everything can just be as horrific as possible. See, we caught that one. Not gonna run into that trap. But either way, I had a blast building this thing. I'm thinking about releasing it to the world to see how everybody else fares against it, and if there's a different way that we can. Kelvin, you gotta stop getting stuck in these builds, man. You just gotta find the exit. All right, go find the exit. All right, there you go. I did keep Kelvin on, and he runs through the base maintaining everything. So as you activate traps, he goes back and resets them, so that way you can always activate them again. Oh, there he goes. I'll have to go reset something else. But anyway, so there is one true path that gets you from the start to the finish, and a bunch of different exits and stuff like that. I put a gap in this video so that way you can't watch this video and find the exit. I wanted to see if people could kind of get through it as fast as possible without being able to cheat. So I mean, honestly, if you'd go through it one time, you kind of have an idea of which way to go. But I wanted to even like take it as far as to remove the compass. Some of the traps were probably more terrifying than others. This one didn't really work out because those night 5 stayed there. That used to be like one of those everything traps, you know, from the book, but that just didn't pan out. That's a fun one though. The little spear throwers on that one. I thought that one, to be honest with you, when I was setting that one up, that was one of the more difficult ones because I kept activating it and depleting the ammo as I was building those out. But either way, this was a super fun build. It only took about 4.5 hours or so to, sorry, those are some of my favorite traps right there, because while you're running through this in the dark, a just bright light hits you in the face and then you just start screaming bloody murder. It's fantastic. I guess that's not really bloody murder. You make noises like you're getting hurt, even though you're not really getting hurt. Sons of the Forest is a great game. Love this game. There's nothing like, it's just a fantastic game. Love that little eye poke one. It like pokes you in the eyes and catches you on fire. Great trap right there. But anyway, you guys get the idea. I got a little lost in my own maze while I was recording this video, and so that's what you're seeing right now, is me getting just a little bit lost, not showing exactly which way to go. That's how you know you made a decent maze. Oh, but we found the exit. Here's the exit. So this is what happens. You get to the exit of the maze, and it's just right here. You turn around the corner, and then boom, exit flag. See, that's what happens. You get lost in your own maze, and you don't even know when the own exit is. There you go. A little horrific scene to be your little prize. I guess if you really wanted to, there's a putter on the ground here. That can be your prize for solving the maze. But then you got a door here. Set it up next to a golf cart, so that way you can just drive yourself around back to the front of the maze and do it all over again. Again, this is something I've always wanted to do in a game, but I've never really had the time to build a maze. And so Sons of the Forest, with the console commands and all of that, makes it super simple to do something like this. And I don't know, I've just always wanted to put something together, because like when I was a kid, I used to draw mazes, you know, that was how I doodled and things like that. And so here we go. But anyway, I wanted to also show this base off during the day. To be honest with you, it's not that impressive during the day because the lights are on and so you can see all the traps and stuff like that. But just to get an idea of the scale of this build and kind of everything that was involved in putting it together, this is something I'll probably end up doing in a few other games, because I had so much fun during the live streams putting this together, with people like adding in their own suggestions and like talking about maze building and things like that. To be honest, what the heck? Not expecting deer in here. Again, this is one of the cooler parts of the build, is this little spear thrower thing. But I mean, I activate these as soon as you get close to it. Let's just throw this guy back that way, so that way we don't have to deal with it. But anyway, let's just kind of keep exploring here. It's monotonous, and that's what you want a maze to be. And so there's no vertical posts in this entire base, and I thought that was kind of a weird thing that I've never done, but you'll see that everything is just straight lines, so that way when you're running through this maze, it kind of has that blur effect, or well, the blur effect rather adds to it, the motion blur. There's another activated trap there. Again, those are some of my favorite that I put in here, is just the see, but they're so narrow. Like you the hitbox on those is super narrow. So luckily you don't take any damage, because that thing would just eat you alive. But you're activating it on the corner there. Might have to fix that before I release this into the wild. Anyway, that was my maze, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to get this out to the general public after I kind of release it as a level, if anybody wants to play it for themselves. To be honest, I'd actually like some feedback from the modding community of Sons of the Forest about this build and how I could improve it to do things like add the enemies or make it more terrifying, yada yada yada. You get the idea. But anyway, thank you guys again for checking out this base with me. This is Base Legend, where we build bases in games. We play survival games, we build bases, we talk about building bases. I just launched a private Minecraft server for everybody so they could have some fun of their own. You know, we just try to have a good time building stuff in games that we love to play. And that is a good time in my mind. So if that sounds like something you want to do, join our Discord, hit subscribe on this video, hit the like button. And then, of course, shout out to our awesome members. You guys are awesome. You guys are super cool. Thank you guys for being all that you are. You guys have a great rest of your day.